So I'm starting to wonder, did most of the allies, or at least some of the allies of the ancient kingdom, all have these substances or edges up their sleeve that would give them an advantage in combat? And the reason why I ask this is because in the Arabasta saga or Alabasta saga, there are these four guards who attack Crocodile, right? But before doing so, they consume something called hero water. In other translations, it's called fatal fuel or fatal elixir. But after drinking the water, they only have 5 minutes of super strength before they all perish. Of which, of course, they did because they're attacking Crocodile, a Logia, someone immune to mundane attacks, right? So, with that being said, there's another substance like this way later in the post time skip when we get to Fishman Island. The energy steroids within the national treasure of Fishman Island called the Tame Tobacco. As you know, Hody and the boys, the new Fishman pirates, abuse these drugs and get super strength from them. Hyozo and the Captain Hody turn white as a result. Hyozo, I think, turns white because he mixes booze with the drug, which is crazy. But yeah, they all get a boost and those two turn white. But after the fact, they all become decrepit. So it's not as extreme as the holy water, but it's a very interestingly similar effect. Another thing that's very similar to the effect of the energy steroids in becoming white is what we see from the minks on Zou, because it's hinted that under a full moon, they can transform. And then we see this properly in Whole Cake Island and then again in Onigashima, in which when viewing a full moon, those, I guess, who grew up on Zou can obtain a form called Sulong, in which they all turn bleach white and have red eyes with black sclera, right? What's so interesting about this is that Beppo, after the four Emperor saga is all said and done and all this Kaido business is handled, he was given a Rumble Ball-like candy from Chopper in order to reach a Sulong state without the use of viewing the full moon. And the results are so potent that he is able to fend off a Yonko in Blackbeard, which makes sense because he's a polar bear, right? Like technically, and this is a thing that really escapes me sometimes, and I have to remember, Beppo is the strongest mink so far, just in terms of animal proportions, because he's the biggest animal. He's a polar bear, and the most dangerous animal so far because, again, he's a polar bear. Wild. But it really makes you think, what is so special about Zou that only those mink from Zou get this ability? Is Chopper giving Beppo this Rumble Ball-like substance drug thing a foreshadowing to how things were many centuries ago on Zou? Maybe these people were imprisoned there and were given this drug. Said drug then had a very similar effect to what we see Beppo have, and that's why now it's just in their genetic code that they can go Sulong upon viewing the full moon. Because it's weird that a substance would have an effect similar to gazing a celestial body. That never sat well with me. It makes me think there's something about Zou specifically that makes that happen for Mink. But now I'm wondering, is this the case for other nations? Does Elbaf have a special ace up their sleeve? Is their ace the devil fruit that supposedly Loki has? Is that the super substance? Who's to say? I'm sure we'll find out. Do the Tontada have something like that? I don't think we ever find that out, but it's something to think about. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What's it?